Ben Shapiro wants you to know that he thinks that because the reality of our economic and political system is that working people suffer immensely as a result of it. And the discussion about whether or not one can retire has become the topic of conversation.
Right. If you're not entitled to having like remainder of your life with dignity.
Yeah. Well, dignity's not permitted.
No, unless you could profit off of it. If he could profit off of it, he probably would.
Ben wants you to know that. So we're going to play a clip and you'll get an idea of just how
I hate stomaching this stuff.
Well, listen, I have a very strong opinion.
Stop.
And let's be real about this. It's insane that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old. The retirement age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement.
Now, granted,
I agree with a lot of that.
I do agree with that.
Joe should have stepped aside a long time. Like, he's got me at these people really should like be stepping back and enjoying their later years in life, especially the people that have such a juicy pension.
Now, I would normally say
like Joe.
I would normally say under these circumstances that he's being a total hypocrite because Trump is also over that age at this point. But Shapiro has pretty much made it clear that he does not support Trump. He was a huge DeSantis
also
supporter.
the peach fuzz is not working for him. It's just bad. It's just not a good look. Like, he just does not look like he looks like a child with a painted beard on. Like a Halloween costume on. Look at how why is his beard such a light color unless he's dyeing his hair? Ben, are you coloring your hair even at your age?
He is putting something on top of his hair to make it seem like he's a moral person, but we all know he's not. So let's keep going.
No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have...
That's because you are a privileged...
100 millionaire.
Oh my God. This is someone that I really, the problem is, in order for him to really grasp how hard this is, it would have to happen to someone else. And I wouldn't wish that. Like, it would have to happen to like his grandfather or a great uncle or somebody that he saw that couldn't afford to exist past an age of retirement and ended up having to be in a really bad way. But he's never, ever had to see anything like that.
He's never had his binky taken from him. And I think that
I swear to God, I feel like I want to wipe that beard off. I feel like it looks like dirt on his face.
Yeah, he probably just,
I don't know what that is.
Mask and it's still there.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe it's from being up someone's butt really high.
Well,
I cannot attest to that.
Because that does look, to me, that looks like he's been like in some pie or something. Okay.
Maybe. Here we go.
Some sort of health problem. Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years. And if you talk to people who are elderly and they lose their purpose in life by losing their job and they stop working, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. But put all of that aside, just on a fiscal level and on a logical level. When Franklin Delano Roosevelt established 65 as the retirement age, the average life expectancy in the United States was 63 years old.
That is correct.
Today, the average life expectancy in the United States is close to 80. It's totally insane that you believe that you should be able to work from the time that you are essentially 20 to the time that you are 65, which is a 45-year period, pay in, and then you will receive Social Security benefits sufficient to support you and your family, you and your wife or whatever, for like another 20 years. That's crazy talk.
That's crazy talk for somebody who's rich, who does not care about the least of these.
And I love the fact that he says that people, and I do not think that most people that are collecting Social Security are still supporting families of four. And I don't ever think anybody ever claimed that that was the case. In fact, most of the people that I know that collect Social Security, their spouse collects Social Security as well. So they both collect Social Security. And for the most part, don't have dependents, typically. So the fact that he's sitting there and suggesting that somehow every individual is making enough money to support a family of four, as if their pension is like, I don't know, our congressional representatives' pension? What about their pension? What about the fact that they can sit there and still collect a pension and still work?
Yeah.
What about that?
And in his case, we're living in a country that does not have universal health care or a living wage.
Right.
So how do you think people are going to retire?
Well, he doesn't care. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, he
doesn't
talks
care
about it like, oh yeah, people are putting thousands of dollars away per month to make sure that they have money for retirement.
Because if people were actually able to put money away, Ben, they probably would. Yeah. See, the thing is, most people are spending more than half of their income on their housing. which is house poor. And that's getting worse and worse and worse. So you see, Ben, if people really just even had the, let's say, the willpower to save and not be just such, deplorables, they still would not have the ability to be able to exist into older age. Not to mention the fact that not all jobs, Ben, are sitting behind a desk and a microphone. Some people actually bust ass and work for a living.
Hey, Ben is doing a service for humanity.
And by the way,
he really believes that.
The point of pensions is for people that do jobs wherein it's so physically in such a way that you really can't work past a certain age. Okay, so those people who put their blood, sweat, and tears, whether it's your auto workers or any of your workers, your factory people, you can't work till you're 80, Ben.
Try telling
they give up their bodies for their work. That's the whole point, Ben.
Try telling a welder or a carpenter or an electrician
work till you're 80.
Or how about a cement truck driver or a long haul driver?
Anybody that's doing physical work is not working till they're 80. The reason the friends work till they're 80 is because they're feckless people that don't really work. They just collect a paycheck. I don't know, like Joe Biden. So when you're doing that kind of work, yeah, why not? You could actually apparently do his job half asleep. So you're right. You're right. But unfortunately, the working people, they work in a way that you'll never understand, and they are not physically capable of maintaining that work up to that age.
I definitely agree. And I think the other problem that we have here, well, it's not just that. It's
so
the fact that people like Ben, who are not what you would consider alpha male material, they always have something to say negative when it comes to working people. This is the divide, though, because Ben is technically conservative. He is in the GOP, but that part of the GOP is dying. People don't want that over there.
Let us introduce you to Mr. O'Brien and Sean Fain.
Yeah, really.
I'm sure they would have some words for you, Ben. I can't even take him seriously. Can we be done with him? Please let me be done with him.
We're almost done.
That is not fiscally sustainable. The notion that if you have to raise the retirement age to 67 or 68, that everyone is going to fall apart. My parents are that age. My parents are not retired. And they shouldn't retire. It would be very bad for them to retire.
What do his parents do? What do your parents
What
do,
do your parents
Ben?
do, Benny boy?
I'm picturing them. You know what? I'm thinking, do they own own a restaurant, maybe a deli?
Yeah,
are they in the diamond business? What are they, Ben?
Listen,
I don't think they're waiting tables.
If you're attempting to make stereotypical remarks about my parents, you are definitely wrong. I have good parents. They did not work with their hands, but they are very useful.
My God.
They're useful people for society.
It is such a unbelievably privileged and entitled thing to assume that all work is the kind of work that you can do until you're any age. How do you think things get made that you use?
Well,
how do you think your car was built?
Well, it's
Ben?
like you said often. It's like at the time, people were there were people that didn't get how terrible a comment it was when W made the comment, "Oh, you got 3 jobs? Oh, that's great. That's the American way."
Oh my
And
God.
it's like, no, actually, that's horrific.
And this will be the first douche complaining about any sort of problem with the supply chain if his stuff doesn't get where he needs it on time.
Can somebody,
what do you think those workers are?
Well, listen, granted, he probably has a driver, but let's just assume that Ben actually drives himself places. I'd like to know if he actually knows how to change oil or change his tire. If God forbid anything went
not a
wrong.
chance.
Probably not, but I just want to know. So tag Ben on social media and ask him if he's capable. Probably not, but that's why he wouldn't respond.
And here's the thing. I can't. I know how to, but I'm not getting down there and doing it. But I'll tell you what, my upper middle class Jewish husband absolutely knows how to and has done that. So
that's
I am saying that, and I'm just saying, of course, but Jason's really good at he's like MacGyver in ways. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that it's because he was raised as a privileged white Jewish person. I'm saying it because he's sitting on television and making himself out to be a complete privileged. So that is why I
don't get us demonetized.
I'm not. That's why I haven't.
All right, let's finish the clip. We have our wonderful guests waiting. So let's finish
yes.
By the way, it's disrespectful to people who are 67, 68, 69 years old to suggest that they are in the same shape as people who are 65 were in 1940. It's not true at all. Have you met a 65-year-old lately? 65-year-olds are not old in the United States. They're not. 68-year-olds are not old in the United States. Again, Joe Biden thinks he's not old, and that dude is running for president again, and that dude actually is old, and he's 81.
We have to stop.
I fail to see how a country in which our entire leadership class is 80 plus is telling you that we should have a retirement age of 65. It makes no sense
Well,
at all.
see, that I agree with. See, now that's true. See, therein he and I could come together. I agree. They really at that age should have taken a step back and passed the baton a long time ago.
But the way that he phrases it is in a way that makes absolutely no sense. I agree. And there are people of a certain age that are able-bodied.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, this is one of those things that has bothered me my whole life when I'm in certain places and I see people that are clearly older and have clearly worked really hard and they're still having to do that. And he's just sitting there saying, yes, they should have to do that until they should. What then? Should we just bury them at work?
Well,
should these people just work literally till they're in the ground?
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.